Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Father Martin and the people of St John's Parish for inviting me to take part in your Thought for the Day series. In Dramalis Retreat Centre in Larne, run by the Sisters of the Cross and Passion, there's a frieze on their chapel wall entitled Boundaries. It depicts this history and the landscape of Dramalis and can also represent the landscape of our own lives. Fields planted and left fallow, manicured lawns and dense woodland, hidden wells to be found, pathways, rough and uneven, to be trod upon. In this pandemic, we are aware of the boundaries placed on us, rules around social distancing, personal hygiene and staying inside. Boundaries that are not always welcome, but very necessary for our health and well-being. A boundary can also be a threshold, a space that opens and beckons us into something new and transformative. In life, these liminal spaces or threshold moments often surprise us by coming seemingly out of nowhere, like the coronavirus. And we find ourselves in unfamiliar territory, in a radical crisis that thrusts change and loss, challenge and opportunity upon us. Exposing our vulnerability, we must wrestle with a range of emotions: confusion, fear, sadness, hope, as changing circumstance calls us to let go or to let die a lifestyle that we believed to be safe and secure, to embrace a new way of being that is still unknown. We long to go back to what was normal, and yet we wonder, will life ever be the same again? God never leaves us where we are. God's invitation to live an abundant life always invites us forward, to leave behind what was, to venture onto new ground, to follow him. St. Benedict tells us to keep death before us always, for it's the passage into new life. And that's what we do on Holy Saturday when we keep vigil with Jesus buried in the tomb. Jesus buried in haste, like our loved ones during this crisis, buried without family or friends or ceremony. Keeping death before us is what we are doing as we remain cocooned in our homes, waiting in the dark of illness, death, uncertainty and bewilderment, in the hope of a breakthrough that calls us out of these tombs, enabling us to cross the threshold to a new and healthier life and flourishing future. For as Christians, we know that this tomb of dark death is also the place of resurrection. The cross that Christ endured, that we are bearing now, is not the end, and this waiting space between Good Friday and Easter morning is the fertile soil of the labour ward that hears the whole of creation's groaning in one great act of giving birth to a glorious resurrection. In the midst of turmoil and grief, God has the last word. A new way of living, of serving and loving is on offer to us, and it's up to us to grasp it. Esther de Waal, in Living with Contradiction, offers this advice: stay still and wait in hope that in its own time the yeast will work, the seed will germinate, the new will emerge from the old. For the miracle is, it does happen. The mystery is that new life does indeed follow death. Thank you.